Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better Show with your hosts LeeSilber and Ellen Goodwin.
That's it for this episode. As always, remember to like, rate, and review, and join us again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier. Oh, wait, that's all backwards. That's the end of the show. We're at the beginning.
Thank you for listening. No, it makes a good point, right? And the point is that when you begin with the end in mind, there's so many positive things that come out of that can help you to be more efficient, because you know what it's going to be like. You know what it's going to feel like. You know what it looks like. You know what needs to be done, because you know what the end thing is. And so beginning with the end in mind is one way to quickly get to the end, from the beginning to the end, instead of starting at the beginning with no idea where you're going or no idea what it's going to be like, which is interesting. But for certain things, it's better to know the ending before you read the book. All right,
well, yeah, you wouldn't plan a road trip and not know where you're going to go. I mean, you obviously, you know where you want to end up. So you would start a road trip with the end in mind, so you can go backwards to figure out what you need.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Everyone knows, or not everyone knows, but I'm a writer, and I always begin my books with the cover and the back cover copy. I do that before I even write a word. And
Really?
The reason is I put the cover on another book that's already done, some famous writer that I admire. And so I wrap it around and I put it on the shelf and I look at it like, that's what it's going to be like. That's what it's going to look like. And if I'm writing and I'm not sure where I'm going, I turn it around and reread the 2-paragraph description of what the book's about to stay focused. Now that's just for a book, but you could do that with any project where you put a bow on it, a wrapping on it, a cover on it, a whatever. And then that's where you're going, and you know what it looks like. It just, there's something empowering about that.
Oh, absolutely. I do that with presentations and talks. I imagine myself at the end. People are clapping, they've enjoyed it. What do I have to do to get to that point where I'm enjoying the fact that I gave a great presentation, that I gave a talk that empowered people? What do I have to do? And that sort of thing helps me, especially when I hit the point where I'm doing rehearsals and I'm like, really, do I have to rehearse one more time? And then I think about that end thing where I've given this talk with no stumbling, no issues, never had the moment where I didn't feel comfortable. So I look at that fantastic moment when it's done and think back of what I have to do to make that fantastic moment happen.
And I saw your speech live when you were on the stage, and you had 5 minutes and 25 slides.
Oh, right.
You were fabulous. So we were great. I really enjoyed that. Your extra practice and rehearsal works. I also will start my building a presentation with what questions might the audience want to know. So I want to make sure I answer them within the program. So I don't like questions. I just rather not have people wondering the whole time, well, what about this? I'd rather answer it in the program. That's why people are there. And I mean, like you said, would you start a puzzle without the box to see it? 10 times quarter. That's what we're trying to explain. It's like doing the puzzle with the box and the end pieces, because that's really important.
Exactly. Yes. You and I know you've used this phrase before, but it gives you some guardrails, that you've got this path to follow. So you start knowing the end, and you're not just wide open. You've got a path.
I agree. There it is. So welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better Show. It is the backwards show, but that was good. I feel like after 150 plus shows, you got to keep it fresh.
You got to keep it fresh. So let me tell you again. Thank you for being here. Like, rate, review. Enjoy our conversations. Share them with others, and join us again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better Show.